All persons having any business before this honourable court now draw nigh and give your attendance, and you shall be heard. God save the Queen.
Admission of lawyers. Abdul Rahman Al-Bukhari.
May it please the Court, I move that Abdul Rahman Al-Bukhari be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Abdul Rahman Al-Bukhari be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Rishab Anasia.
May it please the Court, I move that Rishab Anasia be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Rishab Anasia be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Marlo Bakus.
May it please the Court, I move that Marlo Bakus be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Marlo Bacchus be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Alessia Barilaro.
May it please the Court, I move that Alessia Barilaro be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Alessia Barilaro be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Avi Bhagava.
May it please the Court, I move that Avi Bhagava be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Avi Bhagava be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Syed Abbas Raza Bakari.
May it please the Court, I move that Syed Abbas Raza Bukhari be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Syed Abbas Raza Bukhari be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Sean Adrian Caster.
May it please the Court, I move that Sean Adrian Castor be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Sean Adrian Castor be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Edwina Isabel Chappell.
May it please the Court, I move that Edwina Isabel Chappell be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Edwina Isabel Chappell be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Yaiping Chen.
May it please the Court, I move that Yaiping Cheng be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Yaiping Chen be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Kayla Chloe Cruikshank.
May it please the Court, I move that Kayla Chloe Cruikshank be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Kayla Chloe Cruikshank be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Alexander Joseph Dumouriez.
May it please the Court, I move that Alexander Joseph Dumouriez be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Alexander Joseph de Maurier be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Mark El Azzi.
May it please the Court, I move that Mark El Azzi be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Mark El Azzi be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Alice Elizabeth Gemmell Smith.
May it please the Court, I move that Alice Elizabeth Gemmell Smith be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Alice Elizabeth Gemmell Smith be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Lockie Andrew Lang Gittos.
May it please the Court, I move that Lockie Andrew Lang Gittos be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Lockie Andrew Lane Gittos be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Emma Mary Gleeson.
May it please the Court, I move that Emma Mary Gleeson be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Emma Mary Gleeson be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Christabel Guvlekian.
May it please the Court, I move that Christabel Guvlekian be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Christabel Guvlekian be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Madassa Jabba.
May it please the Court, I move that Madassa Jabba be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Madassa Jabba be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Mariam Jaber.
May it please the Court, I move that Mariam Jaber be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Mariam Jaber be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Ehsan Jahanandish.
May it please the Court, I move that Ehsan Jahanandish be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Ehsan Jahanandish be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Christina Jeong.
May it please the Court, I move that Christina Jeong be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Christina Jeong be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Pia Jimenez.
May it please the Court, I move that Pia Jimenez be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Pia Jimenez be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Dalvinda Cow.
May it please the Court, I move that Dalvinda Cow be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Dalvinda Cow be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Anthony Mark Curry.
May it please the Court, I move that Anthony Mark Curry be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Anthony Mark Curry be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Joanna Catherine Laba.
May it please the court, I move that Joanna Catherine Larber be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Joanna Catherine Larber be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Hannah Edith Lawson.
May it please the court, I move that Hannah Edith Lawson be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Hannah Edith Lawson be admitted as lawyer of this court.
Yuan Chin Lim.
May it please the court, I move that Yuan Chin Lim be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Yuan Chen Lim be admitted as lawyer of this court.
Ting Ting Lu.
May it please the court, I move that Tin Ting Lu be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Ting Ting Lu be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Lindy Look.
May it please the court, I move that Lindy Look be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Lindy Look be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Philip Ken Mayett.
May it please the court, I move that Philip Ken Mayett be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Philip Ken Mayett be admitted as lawyer of this court.
Zoe Wing Sang Ning.
May it please the court, I move that Zoe Wing Sang Ning be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Zoe Wing Sang Ning be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Luke Stephen Novak.
May it please the court, I move that Luke Stephen Novak be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Luke Stephen Novak be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Saskia Lucian Flynn O'Neill.
May it please the court, I move that Saskia Lucien Flynn O'Neill be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Saskia Lucian Flynn O'Neill be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Zara Fatima Panju.
May it please the court, I move that Zara Fatima Panju be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Zara Fatima Panju be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
George Peschel.
May it please the court, I move that George Peschel be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let George Peschel be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Famida Fazana Rahman.
May it please the court, I move that Famida Fazana Rahman be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Famida Fazana Rahman be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Shimana Jhendra Rastogi.
May it please the court, I move that Shimana Jitendra Rastogi be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Shimana Jitendra Rastogi be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Claudia Catherine Marsden Robinson.
May it please the court, I move that Claudia Catherine Marsden Robinson be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Claudia Catherine Marsden Robinson be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Siddharth Saigal.
May it please the court, I move that Siddharth Saigal be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Siddharth Saigal be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Medina Shinwari.
May it please the court, I move that Medina Shinwari be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Medina Shinwari be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Anne Terrian.
May it please the court, I move that Anne Terrian be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Anne Terrian be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Tin Ying Wong.
May it please the court, I move that Tin Ying Wong be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Ting Ying Wong be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Athena Felicity Pikshan Yu.
May it please the court, I move that Athena Felicity Pikshan Yu be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Athena Felicity Pikshan Yu be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Yun Chang Zhang.
May it please the court, I move that Yung Chang Zhang be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Yung Chang Zhang be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Alan Zhao.
May it please the court, I move that Alan Zhao be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Alan Zhao be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Tuan Zhou.
May it please the court, I move that Chuan Zhou be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable
Let
court.
Chuan Zhou be admitted as a lawyer of this court. Thank you, Registrar. Now that the formal moving of lawyers has ended, I'd like to warmly welcome you to this virtual admission ceremony at the Supreme Court of New South Wales. Present with me on the bench today, to my right is Justice Raine, who is a member of the Equity Division of the Court, and to my left, Justice Wilson, who is a member of the Common Law Division. Together we constitute the court that has, in exercise of its jurisdiction, admitted you to practice. As we gather for this celebration physically dispersed, I would like to begin by recognising the various traditional lands on which we meet. This ceremony is streamed from the Banco Court, which is located on the land of the Gadigal people of the Eora Nation. I acknowledge these traditional custodians and pay my respects to their elders, past, present and emerging. We recognise the long-standing and enduring customs and traditions of Australia's First Nations and acknowledge with deep regret the role our legal system has had in participating many injustices against Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander peoples. To all the new lawyers watching today, welcome to the legal profession. This admission ceremony may be different to what you are expecting. These are challenging times when you are unable to be admitted in person. However, your admission, conducted remotely, reflects the agility and adaptability which you will need to possess as lawyers in an age of great change. This is, notwithstanding all this, a time for celebration. You have worked extremely hard to get to this point, through caffeine-fuelled nights and obscure problem questions, reading countless wafer-thin pages of textbook, and more cases than you can hope to remember. You have entered the world of eggshell skulls, encountered the mysterious reasonable person, and have understood the Constitution means so much more than just the vibe of the thing. In becoming a lawyer, you have joined a centuries-old profession with ancient origins. The custom of advocates swearing an admissions oath dates back to the 12th century. This court first admitted lawyers to practice in 1824, and by 1830, the names of lawyers were entered onto rolls in this state. You have now become part of this tradition almost 200 years later. Perhaps for some of you, that feels how long that you've been studying. But for many of you, the support of your family and friends would have been invaluable. No doubt they have also often been on the receiving end of your finely polished skills of argument and persuasion. I do hope you take the time to thank them today. The oath or affirmation you have made before this ceremony is a serious one and deserves solemn regard. Whether you work in private practice, at the bar, in a community legal centre, or in an entirely different field, you should be known for your honesty, your integrity, and your commitment to justice. It is in acknowledgement of this weighty responsibility that we observe today's unique formalities, including the moving of lawyers and our somewhat strange choice of fashion. On a lighter note, on one occasion some years ago, a young member of the audience asked if we were doing Santa photos after the ceremony. I was very sorry to disappoint. However, although we mark this occasion with formality and tradition, not everything in the legal profession remains unchanging. You'll be unsurprised to hear that over the past year and a half, we've had to adapt quite a bit, as you can see today. COVID-19 has meant a rapid shift to increased use of virtual courtroom setups and technology to ensure access to justice continues in the midst of a pandemic. Things don't always go smoothly, as those with me on the bench can probably attest to. There have been real difficulties to grapple with in terms of open justice, effective communication and fairness to participants. For example, only today we've had 10,000 people applying to get onto one link to a court hearing. We in fact have decided to live stream it. And occasionally, a lawyer might even get stuck behind a Zoom kitten filter. But for all the challenges we are facing, the impetus is greater than ever before for us to prioritise flexibility and accessibility. Better use of technology and increased working from home arrangements have profound implications for how our legal system interacts with many people, including those in rural and remote areas, those with a disability, medical conditions or carers' responsibilities. As the newest members of the profession, you are at the forefront of innovation in the law and have a unique opportunity to see through changes so that justice is done openly and equitably. There are, of course, other changes that deserve attention. When we think of the diversity of the legal profession, we encounter the duality that we have come very far and that much still needs to be done. Though women were originally not permitted to practice, since 2018, women have made up more than half of all solicitors with a practicing certificate in New South Wales and currently make up 63% of solicitors under the age of 30. Women occupy many of the most senior positions in the law, including, of course, the Chief Justice of Australia. However, women continue to face challenges of representation, including amongst judges of this court and amongst barristers in speaking roles before the High Court of Australia. It is heartening, on the other hand, to see that the local court has almost achieved gender parity amongst magistrates, but we cannot afford to be complacent about these issues. There are other noticeable diversity concerns that we must face head-on. Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander peoples and people from diverse cultural backgrounds continue to be alarmingly underrepresented in the legal profession, and particularly within the judiciary and the ranks of senior counsel. We must also be alert to barriers to the profession for people from less privileged backgrounds. Law should not be a profession for the wealthy, and the idea that students may be dissuaded from studying law by the cost of a law degree, which again has increased this year, is troubling. Not just this, but we will only achieve a truly diverse profession when barriers to advancement are broken down and people from different backgrounds are properly supported in a collegiate and inclusive environment free from harassment and discrimination. These issues are fundamental to a just and transparent legal system and to the legitimacy of the rule of law. We need diverse representation amongst advocates and judges so that all people who become involved in our justice system can be properly heard and fairly engaged with by a system reflective of our broader community. Despite these challenges, there is real scope for change. There is far greater diversity of background amongst junior lawyers than those who have been around for as long as me. You are in a unique position as new lawyers who are entering the profession at a time when more than ever your words and actions are having an impact for good. You are being heard and taken seriously when you agitate to correct injustices, whether it be speaking out about unsustainable working cultures, sexual harassment or bullying within the profession, unfair laws or systemic failings affecting our society's most vulnerable. I urge you to continue to speak up for these things. They do matter. You are the future of the profession and will steer the direction it will take. As a lawyer, you will also need to make difficult ethical decisions at times. With regard to our personal characteristics, lawyers have been the butt of jokes for centuries. Some would say there are, of course, only a few lawyer jokes, the rest are true stories. But jokes aside, you must use the tools you have developed to think critically and not compromise on your fundamental duties to the court and the administration of justice and other ethical duties you must uphold. Now that you are lawyers, you can get paid to argue instead of just arguing for free. Of course, there is a lot more to it than that. You're an advisor, a problem solver, a mediator, and an advocate for the marginalised. As you go about your day-to-day work, remember that you are not merely dealing with the law in a vacuum, but law as it applies to people's lives. For this reason, you must strive to deliver legal services competently and fearlessly, with courtesy and integrity. Justice Gageler, before he was a High Court judge, once said, "You must be prepared to give the same answer to the same questions for the same reasons, no matter who asks the question or for what purpose or in what context the asking may occur." That is foundational to the rule of law. For those of you who will practice law, the way you communicate information to others will have profound consequences for access to justice. For a non-lawyer, law is often incomprehensible. One of your roles as a lawyer will be to make law accessible to others, sometimes by deciphering legal complexities, other times by deciphering poor legal drafting, and sometimes both. One thing you will regrettably strike throughout your career is legislation which seems carefully crafted with the object of ensuring that no one can understand it. Your task is not just to understand it, but to explain it clearly to those whose rights and interests are affected by it. As lawyers, we must not keep the law locked up as something knowable only to us. A client reading your advice should be empowered to understand your meaning, not mystified and confused. So be clear and concise in your writing and your speaking. Plain English is powerful. Consider, do I really need to say aforementioned or herewith? Must I sprinkle in that Latin phrase? Should I really use double negatives, tautologies and wordy clauses that take up a double page? I suggest the answer to those questions is a resounding no. The best advocates make their points simply and succinctly. Now, some of the most experienced lawyers and judges could from time to time use that reminder, but don't pick up their bad habits. I also want to speak about failure. I'd not be surprised if there are quite a few overachievers and perfectionists watching this live stream today. Even so, at various points of your career, you will make mistakes, some minor, some more serious. When you do make mistakes, your commitment to honesty, integrity, and the administration of justice means that you must take responsibility, correct what you can, and learn from those errors. You must fail at times in order to grow. What is important is that you try not to make the same mistake twice. I myself have made many mistakes over the years, far too many to remember. And even as Chief Justice, my decisions have on occasion been successfully appealed to the High Court. When that happens, I'm simply obliged to grip my teeth and remind myself it's not a legal fiction that the High Court is never wrong. But at times, even dissenting or overturned judgments sometimes become the law. Finally, I want to emphasise your mental health is extremely important. This may sound unexpected at this type of ceremony, but the law is not everything. There may be times when you feel overwhelmed, burnt out or distressed. If you do, you should not be afraid to seek professional help or to take a step back when you need to. Also remember, the law is a collegiate profession, and in times of difficulty, the support of your peers will prove invaluable. I've found that out throughout my career. Although you might find it hard to believe, I was admitted quite a long time ago. I lost my first case, and I lost many more after that. But throughout my 35 years in practice, I could always count on the other barristers in my chambers to share my disappointment at the unfairness of the verdict, the sly tactics of opposing counsel, and most often, I regret to say, the obtuseness of the judge or judges before whom I was appearing. I hasten to add I don't include either of my fellow judges on the bench in that comment. On behalf of all the judges of the Supreme Court, and particularly on behalf of those sitting with me today, I once again congratulate you on your admission and welcome you to the legal profession. The Court will now adjourn.
All stand.